Hello and welcome. If you're looking for the easiest way to transform landscape videos into multiple vertical video clips using AI, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to go over the 2 tools I'm using right now to make my post-production workflows more efficient. My name is Cree, and on this channel, I talk about tech with context. I am incorporating AI more and more into my video production workflows, whether I'm doing it for myself or for clients. This technology is improving all the time, so I want to take advantage of that. There are 2 platforms out right now that are the most popular. One is Vidyo AI and the other is Opus Clips. I have been using both of these tools for a good amount of time now. So I'm going to share with you what it's like to use those tools. So by the end of this video, my hope is that you can determine if one of these tools might be a good fit for you and your workflow. Now, before I dive into the tools, there are a couple of just generalizations that I want to share with you about using AI in your video production workflow. This goes for any platform as of the recording of this video. I imagine this stuff will improve over time, but this is really what I'm seeing now. First of all, these tools work best for long-form content. That means that a long-form video like this one that's going to be 10 minutes or longer, these AI tools will give you better results for longer videos. The other videos that I use these for are for podcast interviews or interviews in general. So anything that is 10 minutes or longer, preferably like 30 minutes to an hour, that's where these tools really thrive. So if you're doing shorter videos, I don't recommend these tools at all right now. So this is really going to work best for those longer form videos. When it comes to processing time, there are 2 different processes to consider. Now, I know we want AI to work like we're, just snapping our fingers and it works very quickly. But the truth is this is still taking a bit of time. So first of all, after you finish your edit, you're going to upload your video to a platform like YouTube. And then once that video is done processing, you post that link into either Vidyo or Opus Clips, and then it'll do its processing. So here's the key to this. When you upload your initial video to YouTube, whatever the highest quality your video is going to be is what these clips are going to pull from. So you actually want to wait until the video is completely processed before you post your link into either of these platforms. Now, if you're uploading in 720, we are pulling vertical video clips from a landscape video, so you are going to see a little bit of a decrease in quality. That means that the higher your video upload, the better. So if you can upload into 4K, then you're going to see better results in those vertical video clips. Same with 1080. In my opinion, you want to do a minimum of 1080 if you're going to go this route. But then what you want to do is wait for YouTube to fully process your video to the highest quality that you've uploaded. So if you have uploaded that video in 4K, it does take a while for that video to completely and fully process to 4K. So just make sure that you're waiting for that to fully process. Now, once your video is fully processed in YouTube, you're going to open either Vidyo or Opus Clips, and the first thing you'll do is just paste whatever that video link is into a search bar, and I'll show you exactly how that works. Now, both of these platforms also take time to process. So what they're doing is they are using AI to detect the most viral moments of your video. So it's looking for voice fluctuations and other things that happen in the speech in these long form videos, and it's pulling clips from that long form video. So if you have like an hour or an hour and a half long video, then it's going to take longer for these platforms to process. So in short, what you want to do is make sure that you're accounting for the amount of time it takes to just process the videos. It does take a little more time than you might initially expect, so make sure that you're adding that buffer into your post-production workflow. A couple of other items you should be aware of with these platforms is that the clips that they create still require some time to go in and edit. Consider these a rough cut, in my opinion. Also, you might get a large number of clips based on whatever video you upload. So let's say you get 30 clips. Well, when I go in and kind of clean up the edits, I'm not using all those clips because not all of them are good, or not all of them make sense, in my opinion, to use in social media. So once you go in, make sure that you're taking time and accounting for time to go in and clean up the edits so you'll get a nice rough cut. You can go in, each of these tools have an editing portion, and you can go in and you can clean them up. And then especially for client work, I am still reviewing all the clips before I actually use them or send them to the client. The other thing, these tools will tell you that they have auto captioning available. Two things I've noticed. One is, stylizing the captions isn't that great right now. It's still looking pretty rudimentary. I am actually not using the captioning tools in these platforms as of yet. The other thing is the accuracy is not that great quite yet as well. So I'll show you in here what that looks like once we look at each individual platform. But the gist is that I'm still editing in these platforms, I'm exporting, and then I'm actually using another or other captioning tools to generate captions that are more appealing for that brand. I can modify the font, I can modify the colors, I can make the captions look a little more closer to my client's branding, and they also just look a little more professional. So those are the high level items to look out for. And now let's dive into each of these platforms. Right now we are logged into Vidyo, and on the left hand side you can see how you can organize your videos into different projects. There's also brand kits available in here and other social media options. Vidyo is rolling out some new social media integrations. I think the goal of both of the platforms we're looking at today is to ultimately make it so that you can post directly from these platforms, which would be really nice. As you can see right here, just to start a new project, you just click on New Project. You are going to paste the YouTube link to your video right here. Make sure that your YouTube video is fully processed to the highest quality before you post your link in here. And then you're off and running. You just click import. And again, it's going to take a little bit of time for your clips to process. Once they're processed, this is what that individual project view looks like. Now, the great thing about Vidyo, what I really like about it, is that you can change the orientation of your clips. So in this case, it has a bunch of different options. You can do landscape, portraits, portrait split, and square, depending on where you want to post that video. And then on the left-hand side, this is going to score each of these video clips. So the higher the score, the better. This has to do with virality and whatever AI is defining as virality. So in this case, let's just go ahead and look at this first one, The Power of Podcasting. I do host my own podcast. It's called the Actionable Marketer Podcast. So these clips were taken from an hour-long interview I recently did with a guest. And now I'm creating those clips so that I can use in social media and ultimately drive traffic to that interview. So right here in Vidyo, you can go ahead and open up the edit right here. And on the left-hand side, there are templates. I actually like to not use clips. You can see, though, that there are a ton of different templates that are available to you. But I actually turn these off in my edits. As I mentioned before, you can see that the style of these captions aren't that great. And as I mentioned before, the auto captioning isn't quite 100% accurate yet. There's just other platforms that can do captions better at this point. So I am taking that extra step to create captions. Out here in Vidyo, you can see there is an editor right in here. So if you want to extend the clip, shorten the clip, if you want to do cuts, you can do that directly here in the editor. I will say that Vidyo, in order for this platform to work best, you want the person in the middle of the screen. So sometimes when I record interviews, I'll offset people depending on what angle they're facing. If you are planning on using Vidyo specifically, it doesn't allow you to kind of reposition clips, which is unfortunate. But my hope is that they'll have that soon because you can in Opus Clips. And I'll show you how you do that in a little while. So once you're done, you can save this draft or you can just download it directly from Vidyo. But Again, what I do is I go through each of those video clips. I watch them. So I watch the beginning and the end, make sure everything looks and sounds okay. I make minor adjustments. And then if I want to use that clip, I'll export from there. Some other things to highlight about the video platform while we're in here is if you go up here on the upper right-hand side, you can create clips from timestamps and then also from transcripts. So if you use a tool like Descript, this might be helpful for you. But there is that option to run with as well. And then on the left-hand side, I do want to point out that Vidyo has an AI assistant called Vidyo. And what you can also do in here is create show notes. You can create a blog based off of a video. You can create a Twitter thread, and then you can also list out key ideas. This is in beta at the time of this recording, but as I mentioned, these platforms are pushing out and improving on their functionality all the time, and this is what Vidyo offers as of the recording of this video. It's worth mentioning that with either of the platforms I'm sharing with you today, they do require either a monthly or an annual subscription. For Vidyo and trying out this platform, I took advantage of an annual deal that they had going on. So on the lower left side, you can see that I have about 4,300 minutes left in the year that I can use this platform. And we are going to take a closer look at Opus. This is the next tool that I'll review with you today, but you can see that they do theirs hourly, and I have a monthly subscription with Opus. So in general, when it comes to new tools like this, what I advise is don't hop in and purchase the annual plan right away unless you get a really good deal for it, like I did with Vidyo. But do the monthly plan, and then that way you can go into these tools. You can see if they're a good fit for you. And if you really like them, then you can choose to get the annual discount. In my opinion, it's worth the extra couple of dollars a month just to try it out, so I'm not locked in to an annual fee or an annual subscription. Now let's go ahead and look at Opus Clips. Same thing here. You can just drop your link in here. Opus does allow you to drop links from Zoom, Rumble, YouTube, I think wherever the video might be. So let's go ahead and share the same link that we just looked at in Vidyo.ai. So all you do is you paste the link to that video. You're going to get your clips. And now we're going to wait for Opus Clips to do all of its processing. Again, you want to make sure that your YouTube video is done processing to the highest quality before you paste your link into any of these platforms. And you can see right here that it's going to be about 12 minutes for Opus Clips to process. Opus Clip is all done processing. I do want to point out for both of these platforms, once you share your link for the video and it's processing, you don't have to keep the browser open or anything like that. You can go do something else and they'll send you an email once everything's processed. And then all you do is you hop back into the interface. Now, in this case, Opus Clip did generate 28 clips versus Vidyo's 27. But again, that doesn't mean I'm going to use all of those clips at this point in time. This is when I hop in and I look at each of these clips specifically, make any editing adjustments, and see which ones I want to keep. So Opus is also giving us a virality score. These are a little higher, I'm noticing, than in Vidyo. So in order to go in and edit a clip, all you do is click the edit button. Again, there's a ton of functionality in either of these. In Opus Clip, you can remove filler words, you can remove pauses. For captions, what I do is I go ahead and just turn captions off. Again, I'm still exporting design. You can generate B-roll if you want. You can do auto emojis in your captions. And in this case, I have captions on. I'm going to turn them off. They look pretty similar to what we saw in Vidyo AI. Let's just turn it on and kind of see what those look like for this particular clip. When it comes to editing your video, Opus Clip does look a little different. On the left-hand side, what it allows you to do is edit based on the text. So you can see right here at the bottom, we have the first version of the video, and on the left-hand side, this is what the person is saying. So if you want to change the start to your video versus the end to your video, all you have to do is just click on the word, and you can set this as the start, and then at the end, you can set a new word as the end. Let's go ahead and just Ninja Turtle. Let's just do that. He's talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this episode, apparently. So that's how you can quickly edit the beginning and the end and trim that way. Now, the benefit or the plus side of using Opus Clip over video is Opus Clip will reframe wherever the person is in the frame. So I mentioned earlier, sometimes in interviews, I'll offset the person. They don't have to be directly in the middle. I'll offset them in the frame. Opus Clip does accommodate for that, so it will adjust. If it doesn't, what you can do is you can go here in the editor, and all you have to do is select whatever clip that is, and you can move the person and reframe their face left or right here in the frame. And then once you're all set, you just release and you're all ready to go. So that is a plus to Opus Clip. It lets you reframe. And it, in my opinion, is just a little nicer to be able to do that in each of these clips. Now, when it comes to captions in Opus Clip, again, these are looking a little rough. They are getting better and better. Opus does give you more controls over the type of font you're using and the colors you're using. And the other thing that Opus Clip will do is here on the left-hand side, because you're editing from the transcript, you can add or correct captions here in the platform. So that is a plus to Opus Clip over video, is that you can actually go in here and modify the captions that are displayed on your clips. Now, functionality-wise, Opus does offer a couple of different options for you. So once your clip is edited, it does require a little bit of processing. You can see, I don't know, expect like 1 or 2 minutes for each one to process based on your edits. So what I normally do is I'll edit, and then I'll compile and exit out of that video, and I'll just move on to the next one. And I'll also make a note as to whether or not I want to keep the video clip. And in this case, if I like number 1, then I'll make a note that I want to export number 1. So when it comes to exporting, a couple different things you can do here is there is an auto post and scheduler built in Opus right now. I haven't used it personally yet. I'm waiting for that functionality to get a little better, but you can post directly from Opus Clip. You can also do an XML export out of here. So if you are a Premiere Pro user, you can export this vertical video clip directly into Premiere Pro. It will bake in those captions if you do choose to use captions. You can download the clip right here, and then this is the selection that you use if you want to edit a clip. Now, from a high perspective, Opus Clip also has some additional functionality to be aware of. You can create brand templates for each of your clients. If you're like me and you have multiple clients, Opus allows you to add team members. So if you have other people on your team who will be uploading, creating, and or doing all those fine-tuned edits on your vertical clips, you can add teams. You cannot do that in video right now that I'm aware of, but you can in Opus Clip. And you can add more credits, you can update your subscription, and you can do so much more here in the Opus Clip dashboard. It is an exciting time to be experimenting with tools like Vidyo and Opus Clip when it comes to creating efficiencies in my workflow. Based on what you've seen so far, the difference between these two platforms, let me know in the comments below which one you prefer. Now, if I were to choose one over the other right now, I would choose Opus Clip over Vidyo. Although Vidyo does give you the option of creating, you can do landscape or vertical clips, does give you that flexibility. Opus Clip, because they reframe wherever the person is in the frame, it has saved me so many different times. It does make that piece of the editing a little better. Also, I prefer the editing options that are available in Opus Clip. It's just easier to trim the video using the text and the words on the left-hand side rather than trying to guess where the beginning and the end of the video should start in video. Either way, I just don't think you can go wrong. So based on what your needs are, what your budget is, I think these are two very viable options. that you should consider if you're looking to incorporate AI into your video production. So with that said, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up down below and be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be posting some fun vertical video capture options here in the future. So if you're interested in that kind of thing and post-production workflow, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about those items in the coming weeks. Thank you as always for tuning in, and I'll see you again in next week's video.